Good morning. Mary here with High Song Grows, bringing you Farmer Friday. A little bit of what's been happening around here this week. Been a little bit of a crazy week. We did finally get some rain. Hallelujah. It was actually more than an inch over a couple of days, so that was awesome. Of course, it has brought out the flies in major force, but I'm just really grateful for it. That and I thought I was going to lose another little duckling, but it recovered. And mostly just been trying to kind of clean up my house, clean up my act. Making cheese and ice cream. Trying to just get things done and get things cleaned up. So anyway, enjoy the show. Oh, it's Saturday evening. I just got done milking Bambi. She was the first one out the gate. So 2 more girls to milk. This wasn't super hot today. Ezzy, will you quit? You're gonna bust my gate. It wasn't super hot today, only like 99 or 100, but it's still about that hot. And there's not really any breeze, so it's just like, I'm not motivated to do much of anything at all. What are you doing, huh? What are you doing? You're so funny. She's got to come rub all over me because she needs her scratches. Yes. As you need your scratches, huh? You're so funny. Yes, you are. You're so funny. Yes, you're so funny. You got some cud breath going on there, girl. Yeah. You got some cud breath going on there. Yeah. What do you say? Huh? You got something to say? Just keep scratching, huh? Just keep scratching? Okay. Okay, you ready? Yeah. Vanilla ice cream. That is going to be so yummy later when it gets hot. Well, it's Sunday, and there's, of course, a million things to do. And first up is a tarp. Tarp over the milk stand, as you can see, is getting a little daylight, and more daylight up there. So I bought a new one to replace this one. This is in fairly good shape. I think it'll be okay. I might use it over the boys' pen. We'll see when I get it down. It's like, I don't think it's even 10 o'clock, or if it is, it's just after, but it's already 100 degrees. Hi. So we're gonna go take some feed to Mr. Bentley, and then probably run to the grocery store, and then come home and hide out in the house. Hey. So I got this idea the other day when I realized that I still had like this whole jar of fermented peppers that I made last summer. So that's a salt brine. There's garlic, jalapenos, some shishitos. I remember if there was something else. I don't remember now. But I thought, oh, I have a bunch of hard-boiled eggs. What if I made spicy hard-boiled eggs? So that's what I'm experimenting with here. I'm just smashing up the yolks. And I've chopped up about, I think there was 1 shishito and 2 jalapenos. So I cut them up. They're a little juicy, so I just did it on this little plate. I'm going to put all of that in the egg yolk. And stir that up. And I kind of want a little bit more salt. And I don't really have any onions, but oh, I think I have some like chopped garlic in a jar. Hang on. I could have chopped up one of the garlic cloves that are in the jar of peppers, but I didn't think about it. So we're going to use some garlic in a jar. Maybe if I can get it open. Yum yums. I eat a lot of garlic. Fresh, dried, powdered, we don't care. We're going to put a big old spoonful of garlic in there. And I thought about using, Miracle Whip or something like that. But then I thought, ooh, what if I just use some of my buttermilk ranch? That'll taste yummy. So, to make it a nice smooth paste. Well, that might have been a little bit too much ranch. It got really thin there, but that's pretty good. It is not very spicy. I could chop some more peppers. Be right back. Alrighty, I grabbed 2 larger and 1 really small little jalapeno out of the jar. And stir that up and see what we have now. That's just right for me. Just a little tiny bit of spice, not too much, not burning my head up. Cool. Now I'm gonna stuff my little eggshells. I'm sure that I have more filling than I probably have eggshells, because a couple of them were really thin and split open, so I ate them while I was peeling the next one. And don't tell me y'all don't do stuff like that. I'm sure you do. Everybody does. Whoops. That one fell open. Okay. Oh, darn it. That's only half a boat. Yeah. And I have a lot of filling left over. When somebody say, oh, you could have done a neater job. You could have piped it and made it pretty. Well, you know what? I'm the only person here and nobody cares. I am not the foo-foo girl. As long as it is food, I don't really care. So we're just gonna pile it up and probably eat the last couple spoonfuls just all by themselves. Those little
little tiny cloud covered up the sun a few minutes, and oh man, it feels so much better with the sun covered up. Yeehaw. This Sunday. And it was 106 this afternoon. I think it's still probably 100 something. Whew. So I'm a little bit later coming to milk. Oh, fly, get out of here. Just trying to keep things from dying. Took me a while to fill all the pans and water buckets and things for the chickens and stuff. I'm still way too hot, even with my cool wet rag on my head. So, not much going on here besides surviving. I did get a couple things done in the kitchen and did some laundry. Since we might get some rain this week, I'm trying to get all the laundry caught up so that I don't have to worry about clean work clothes and stuff on the days it's trying to rain. Everybody looks okay. Bambi was panting a little bit this afternoon, but not extreme. She was just a little warm. Digger's doing okay. I have the misters running over there for him. And he's hunkered down in his little hole. So when I go and change out his water tub, I usually spray water in his hole so that he's got some wet dirt to lay in. And let's see, what else? No, Digger cannot come in the house. Because Digger, besides the fact that he's so huge, I don't think there's any place wide enough in my house right now he could turn himself around, except maybe in the kitchen and right in front of the front door. And besides that, Digger wants to chew up anything that is plastic or rubber, including electric cords. So you can see that that would be an issue if he was to be in the house. And I don't have a crate big enough to put him in, and I can't make him go in a crate anyway. He will not have it. So we just keep him as comfy as we can out here. What else was there? The little kids all act like the heat don't bother them at all. They're all raring to go for snack time and playing around and stuff. Bashful was looking a little warm, a little bit of panting, a little droopy when I went to drop hay, but not super bad, not extreme. So I think everybody will be all right. Tomorrow is supposed to be just about as hot as today, and then we're supposed to cool back down into the 90s with this rain coming in. So cross my fingers we actually get real rain that actually soaks into the ground and does something. Esmeralda and Bambi are still fussing and fighting, and so I've been tying Ezzy up because even if she doesn't bother Bambi, as soon as Bambi comes in to milk, Ezzy and Love gang up on Pinto Bean. Yeah. Let's see if we can do this without a big to-do. Oh, you gotta get a drink of water? Okay, you can get a drink of water. No, you're done. Bambi. Hey, don't push on the gate. I'll open the gate when I'm ready. No. I know you're in a hurry, but you don't want to be pushing on the gate. Okay. Y'all are busting this poor old gate up. All right. No, not you, Bean. Bean, it's not your turn. Pinto Bean, it is not your turn yet. You gotta come back in here for a minute. Bean Bean, it's not your turn. All right. You have no collar on. It's all right, Bambi. You just hang out there and be a good girl for a minute. Let me get your kiddo situated here. All right. Y'all are a bunch of drama queens. Okay. Bean, come on. Come here. You just go back in here. I tied Esmeralda up so she can't bother you. So you just go on back in there. Move your butt. So I can shut the gate. Thank you. All right. Yeehaw. Well, Bambi looks pretty full tonight. Yeah. What do you got on you? You have a sore? You almost look like you got a sore. Okay, I guess not. I guess not. I'm pretty sure that haze is not fog, which means there's a fire someplace. But the app, the wildfire app, is showing me a small fire about 20 miles out of town, but it's like not a big fire. It shouldn't be smoking this far over. I don't know. Good morning. It's Monday. The sun's not even over the hill yet and I'm already sweating. We're gonna have another hot day. The air is filled with smoke this morning, but the closest wildfire is like probably 20 miles out of town. So I'm not sure that this smoke is from that, because it's not a very big fire according to my fire watch app. So it could be a building fire someplace, and that's kind of what it smells like. It's just got that kind of nasty burnt plastic smell. So I'm thinking that there's a building someplace that's burning down. Otherwise, not too much going on today. Just trying to get through the heat. We do have rain back on the forecast for tomorrow afternoon. Not much. I think it was 1 or 2 hundredths of an inch, but hopefully it will cool things off and give us some humidity. Might settle some of the dust. So there'll be a little bit of getting ready for rain. I need to clean up the hay stack. I had a bale of hay that was very nasty. When I broke it open, like it had gotten completely wet at some point and fermented and is just totally gross. And I took some and showed my hay dealer, and he's given me credit for it because it was a whole bale. But I need to get that cleaned up and out of the way and get ready for a hay delivery later in the week. I don't need it yet, but by the end of the week I will. Otherwise, not a whole lot else going on. Good morning, Esmeralda. Oh, you don't want to be on camera this morning, huh? You're so funny. This side. Okay, can you behave going in? Bean, what are you doing? No, you can't eat like that. Let's get up on the stand. Come on. Come on. There you go. Good girl. Good girl. That's a good girl. Yeah. All right. Okay, so Bean still leaks. We still have that big knot right there. Nothing seems to help that go away. I have tried hot compresses. I have tried Dynamint udder cream. It is getting a little softer than it was when it first started. So, and there's no signs of mastitis. She doesn't have a fever. Her milk is not weird. There's no scum or anything in the milk filter. Any of those things that would make me think she had mastitis. It doesn't taste funny. It doesn't look funny. But she has been real high maintenance because of the leakage. So to take the old new skin off, we paint more new skin on, and it sort of dissolves and softens up the old layer. So then we can get it off with a warm wet rag. So just kind of a pain in the butt to have to do this part all the time. I'm hoping that as her udder stretches out and stuff that the leakage will stop. I don't know. I really haven't made up my mind what I'm gonna do here. I hate to put her in the freezer because she is a very sweet girl, and she's you know, doing okay for having had mastitis. She's not a huge producer like her mom, but she is a first freshener, and you never know what you're going to get. You never know how things are going to work out. So I'm just been debating. My thoughts have been to go ahead and rebreed her this fall to Bentley again and see if we get a pretty doe kid. Maybe one that is built a little bit more dairy than Pinto Bean is. Pinto Bean is built more like a meat goat. Plus, she's a little overly conditioned. She's got fat little thighs, so she doesn't have as much room for a big udder or anything. So, I don't know. It'll just be one of those wait and see kind of things at the moment. I'm thinking if she had twins, and they nursed evenly, that maybe the leakage would stop. I don't know. I don't know if that is going to get better in a second freshening or not. It's kind of a wait and see game. So I am liking that her udder skin is soft. It's not leathery or tough. She's been fairly easy to milk out. She's got a good stream. I don't know if that shows up on camera, but her orifices are pretty good size, so we have a good stream of milk. This one on this side, this teat feels a little fleshy when I first start, like, oh, it's hard to explain, but almost like this teat feels like just a thin bag of skin full of milk, and this one feels like it's meaty, like the inside of the teat is meaty and it doesn't have as much milk at a time as the squeeze, but at the same time she milks out pretty easy. So all the things we've been through with this girl this year. It does take a little more pressure to get the milk out of this side. Like I said, it just feels kind of meaty, especially when I first get started. And then it kind of softens up and goes away. So, I don't know. If you've ever had one like that, let me know. And then if it changed or resolved itself. So, it does not feel like it's udder tissue. I did have a doe once, and the top part of her teat, it did feel like a little bit of her mammary gland was like trying to come down inside the teat, and I couldn't pinch it off at the top as high as I could on her other side. Don't be ornery. No, you need to stop. We're not done. You know this drill. And you know you're not going to get your peanuts until we're finished. She's a peanut fiend. And she's just going to be dancing a little bit because she's eaten the part of her grain mix that she likes the best. And she doesn't care so much for the pellets that are in it, so she wants to dance around because she wants more of the other stuff. But like this knot, I don't know, I just really feels like it's probably just mammary tissue. It just doesn't, it's softer now than when it first started, but yeah, who knows. Some days will you stop. Now you were being so good. Alrighty. So this morning there's some foam. But we're probably about 2.5 pints. And that's about what she's been giving me, between 2.5 and 3 pints each milking, which is not fabulous for a first freshener from heavy milking genetics. But like I said, she is built a little bit more like a meat goat than she's built like a dairy goat. So she just doesn't really seem to have the huge capacity that her mom has, Bambi. So we'll see. And as you can see, this knot doesn't really go away or disappear with milking, no matter how much I massage. It is softer than when it first started. So I have had girls that have had small knots in that part of their udder as first fresheners, and they tend to kind of just sit there and then go away by the time they're a second freshener. So who knows, we'll see. Now with the new skin, one of the things I've discovered is, you know, when you finish milking, there might be a little drop of milk there at the orifice, and I have figured out that we need to wipe that off and make sure it's real dry before we put more new skin on. Because otherwise we're more likely to leak. It's like that, oh, you booger. That milk just keeps it from sealing up properly. You're such a booger some days. But this has worked really well most of the time to keep her from leaking. And it's not so much about losing milk as it is about that teat being open and getting bacteria up in there and causing a case of mastitis. We've already done that. We don't want to go back. It's no fun. Yeah. Okay, well, that's not very helpful. My lights just went out. Alrighty. I'll carry on. I will turn this burner off in case I'm not in here when they come back on. Now I forgot what I was going to talk about. Oh, because I still have a really bad case of the Aduanas. Anyway, you know, I have a sign above my desk, and it says, if you don't start somewhere, you'll end up nowhere. And, yeah. So, this morning, because I haven't made cheese all week, and the refrigerator is all backed up and full of milk, and I had no clean empty jars. In fact, I had no empty jars at all. Bigger than a quart to put milk in. So I am pulling about 3.5 gallons of milk out of the refrigerator to make some chev. I'm skimming it. I am going to use some of this morning's milk to make a batch of yogurt. And then if it's not so hot I'm going to die, I'm going to go and muck some in the girls' pen, because especially with having rain coming, it's going to be a mess. And then also there was a little ammonia smell this morning, so I know I've got to get that all mucked out in the soggy wet spots. So we'll see how far we get with that project and the heat. It is supposed to be like 105 again today. Not fun. Though it's very hazy from the fire smoke. I'm still haven't found out where the fire is, but I'm wondering if that's why my electricity's out. I have tightened the belt up. It was really super loose, so I don't know if that's tight enough, but that's about as good as I can get it, at least right this minute. It is getting kind of chewed up. I don't know what causes that, if it's just wearing out in the heat. But that was a new belt. I'm trying to remember if that was last year or the year before, because I can't remember. Yay! Much better! Yay! Well, hello, big, beautiful, dark, cloudy coming over. Did I hear a thunder grumble? Or was that my imagination? I did hear some thunder grumbles. I don't know that any water is going to materialize, but maybe it's just here to tease us, because there's still a lot of blue sky. Come on, Ez, get up there. No, we're not gonna go see no boys. Come on.
Esmeralda's in heat. I have known this since 4 o'clock this morning because she's been yelling. And Bashful is answering her. Come on. Get up there. Can we milk? Yeah, I know. I know it.
Come on, let's go. No. Ay, ay, ay. We're gonna do this every 21 days for the next like 6 or 8 months. Yeah. Fun.
Beans, you cannot get on the stand like that. Come on. Yeah. Come on. There you go. Come on. Good girl. Well, that's not a good thing, is it? Well, it's Tuesday afternoon and no rain has materialized. Haven't even had any clouds this afternoon. And supposedly, when I looked at the weather app yesterday, it was supposed to have started rain, having a little thunderstorms and stuff about 1 o'clock this afternoon. Well, it's like 3:30. We ain't got nothing. It's a little worse for the wear, but it's not in too bad a shape. Thank you, friends, for coming and helping me get that down and situated. Well, it's raining over there behind the mine. I just don't know if it's gonna actually do anything over my house. A lot of blue sky yet. We'll see. Good morning, universe. It rained a little bit in the night and early this morning. We might have more coming. So we'll check the rain gauge in just a minute. Yeehaw. That looks like 7/10 of an inch there. 5, 6, 7. Cool beans. Wow, that's almost as much water as I've had the whole year. Huh. There's a dead mouse in that water bucket. No wonder the goats didn't drink it. When the rain was starting this morning, I was dreaming that I had left the lid off the barrel by the milk stand where water drips in, and that all the hay pellets were ruined. But no, I left the lid off this barrel where my scratch is. Fortunately, it does not seem to have gotten too wet. So I think we'll be all right. We'll just feed that top part out before it gets moldy. When I came out this morning, this duck was crying and crying, and the other ducks were running over him. He acts like he can't stand up very good, can't really walk right. I'm not sure what's wrong with him, if he got like a scorpion sting or something. If we had a lot of mosquitoes right now, I'd say maybe West Nile virus, but I'm not sure. So I put him in here with the little chicks where the other ducks won't run over him. Got him some water, some feed. So we'll see what happens. And let the monsoon begin. Yeehaw. Of course, it's almost time to go milk goats. Never fails, right? Wowza. I can't even see down the road to the neighbors or across the highway to the mines. It's all gone behind a cloud of water. Morning, duckies. Yes, I see your water is empty, Will, and your feeders. But look, this little guy is up on his feet. Oh, I'm so happy. I'm so happy, little duck. Oh, you're still a little bit wobbly. Yeah, you're still a little bit wobbly. Oh, cool. You want to come out here with the other duckies? Okay. Yeah. We'll get you and put you out here with the other duckies. There you go. Yeah. I'm so happy to see you recovered. So I do think that probably was a scorpion sting. Because if it was something like thiamine B complex deficiency, then more birds would have been down and showing effects. The same with if it was West Nile virus, a lot of birds would have been down. But just one bird, I'm pretty sure that was a scorpion. Wowza, a whole inch of rain overnight. Holy moly, hallelujah. Okay, I can't even tell which one of those 4 ruins was the one that was limping and couldn't walk yesterday. Look at that. Everybody's up and walking around and swimming and eating and drinking. Hi, Uno. Look at you, you're so huge. Okay. I woke up at like 1:30 this morning. First thinking it was time to get up and kind of laid there, half asleep, waiting for the alarm to go off. And I finally rolled over and looked at what time it was. And I was like, well, crap, go back to sleep. But then I was dreaming that Pinto Bean had mastitis again. And I mean, I just kept waking up and waking up and waking up all night. So I did do the little mastitis dish soap test, and she's clear because there's no snot or anything. This is her left side, and like there's no slime or anything. This is her right side, no slime. So we're good. So maybe I can sleep tonight. Alrighty, happy 4th of July. We have ice cream. I love my little Cuisinart ice cream maker. You just keep this guy part in the freezer, and when you're ready to make ice cream, you make up your mix. And I've been making it up in the evening and putting it back in the refrigerator in the coldest place to really get cold. And then in the morning, while the house is cool, I make my ice cream. It only takes 20 minutes in here, and we have ice cream. Yummy. Alrighty, I got most of it put away in little containers. I don't have to buy more containers. I really need to empty freezers. They're full of milk and cheese and butter and ice cream. Oh, but what's better than ice cream for breakfast, man? Milk and cream. A little sugar. I don't use as much as the recipe calls for. That makes it way too sweet. And some real vanilla. Yum. Morning. It's Friday. Everybody's been fed and watered and taken care of, except maybe the little ducks. They had water when I came out this morning, but not a full thing. So I probably need to check them and see if they need more water now. But I have what is a 35-pound lard bucket full of seed. And I have been waiting months and months for rain to start putting the seed out. A lot of people that go to the food bank or the food giveaways and things, they kind of get overloaded with like pinto beans and lentils and things like that. And sometimes they bring them to me for my chickens and stuff. You know what? The chickens don't like them. The chickens do not want to eat them. And I tried soaking them, sort of, not quite, but sort of pre-sprouting and stuff like that. The chickens just wouldn't eat them. So
Yes, hello. We are talking about you. So I have in my bucket a mixture of pinto beans, green peas, a couple colors of lentils, a whole bunch of different kinds of flour mixes, you know, like wildflower mixes, cutting flour mixes, things like that, and herbs and other things that I just had a ton of seed for that I just dumped it all in this bucket. And I'm gonna come up here and we're gonna plant this as a cover crop. I know that the birds and the rabbits and the rodents are all gonna eat a whole bunch of this stuff. So I'm gonna put it down really super thick. Pardon my sniffles, my allergies are kicking up today. So I'm gonna go find my little cultivator rake so I can kind of stir the ground up a little bit, and then we'll spread all this seed. Alrighty, and along the way, I still haven't found my cultivator rake, but I have found some hollyhock seeds, so we're going to collect some of those to add to our mix. I didn't find my little cultivator rake. In some places they call it a potato hook. It's got like 4 pretty long curved tines on it. But I found my rock rake. That'll probably work. Not like we don't have a lot of rocks to rake, right? But I mostly just want to loosen up the top couple inches of soil and get the seeds into the ground. By the time I got all that seed down and spread some spoiled hay over it for mulch and watered it in and cleaned up my high stack spice and stuff, I was beat that I just got really overheated. It wasn't super hot today, but it was probably, I don't know, probably 95 or something like that. I don't know, something like that. And I just, especially since I didn't sleep good last night, I ran and got feed, and I come home and took a nap. I don't hardly ever take a nap, but I want to go check these ducklings, make sure they've got water, because I'm going to bet that they need some. Doing ducks. Oh, your bath water's dirty. Ugh. Yeah, and so is your drinking water. Yes, hello, ducks. Is everybody up on their feet? We're doing okay. And our little chickies are doing okay. Alright. Okay, yeah, it's not as hot as it has been the other few days. Uno, you are like becoming the jolly white giant in here. Look at you. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I see y'all. What are you doing, duckies? Hi, babies. I'm looking at some of their bills that just had a few black spots. Some of them are getting really black, like that one. I don't know if that's a sex indicator or not in these magpies. I'll have to look it up. Hi. Oh, hi. Hi, duckies.
And y'all can hear the girls screaming. They think they're going to die because they didn't get their snack yet. Hi, Duck Duck. What are you doing? You're so cute. I love how they turn their heads sideways to look at you. Yes, you're so cute. Yes. And you guys are so cute. Hello, little chickens. Oh, I don't think y'all need to go out the door. No. Where are you going? Where are you going, silly chicken? Yeah. I think these 3 chickens are all boys. They've been a little boy heavy this year. Yeah. Because they're not that old and they already got bright red combs and faces and wattles, so they are probably boys. Yep. Ducks. Okay, let's get you some clean water to drink and then we'll go feed them silly girls over there. Hi, boys. Yeah. Mr. Bashful is growing his rut wrinkles. Look at all them big fat wrinkles on his head and his neck. He gets real thick for rut. Little boys won't do that this year. They'll probably start doing that next year. And we're starting to smell a tad bucky over here, but it's not overwhelming. Most of these boys that I've had have not been like super horrendous. They smell a little musky. Most of the time they're not super gagging stinky. So I don't mind them. And of course some of that could just be I'm used to them. But yeah, probably from now till this fall we'll have a little musky bucky smell, which is okay. Not like those little Nigerian dwarfs that are in rut all year long. And some of those boys are really rank. And these boys aren't too bad. Alrighty. Well, that's a little bit of what's been going on around here this week. I know it's supposed to get hot again next week, but hopefully it won't be super hot, maybe around 100, 105. So we'll just have to keep an eye on the weather and try and keep everybody as cool and comfy as we can. I want to thank everybody that has subscribed to my channel, and I really appreciate everybody that watches and shares my videos, comments and likes. It means a lot to me. Someday maybe I can get monetized and quit the part-time job, and this will be part of my job. But in the meantime, we're trying to have a good time and have good food and all the things. So y'all have a nice weekend and a great week. We'll see y'all next time.